phraseology that says Jesus is Zeus. You're not going to find that. You're looking for an exact phraseology that says Jesus is Zeus. You're not going to find that. You're looking for an exact phraseology that says Jesus is Zeus. You're not going to find that. Okay? Because they are not going to tell you the truth. What I'm offering to you is that because Zeus' birthplace is Crete.
Alright. So y'all see what leg this teacher standing on.
Zeus' birthplace is Crete, and Christian is a derivative of the word Crete, which is a follower of the birth deity called Zeus.
He's not showing that.
Mashiach was a Hebrew, not a Greek, as we all been saying unanimously. Now, in the Latin suffix of the word Zeus equals pig. Okay, freedictionary.com. Under the freedictionary.com, it says S-U-S, a boar, old wild swine having a narrow body and prominent touch from the most domestic swine come. Now, I'm gonna give you another link because I'm not done yet. This is just a few. I have tons of them. Okay. I got 5 minutes left. Okay. All right.
This is bad.
Okay. Here's another link. This is from the University of
all of y'all on Skype.
Notre Dame.
Y'all hear this and y'all know this is terrible right now. Nothing has been proven. Do not let this man move any of you hearts against using the word Jesus. And if you don't prefer to use the word Jesus and you use something else,
you look at that.
Do not go to your brothers and sisters and tell them that they call him Jesus. Because this guy has not proven it yet.
I have no issue with you all, brothers, personally, in Buffalo. I admire, and I'm not trying to patronize you, I admire the tenacity. But if the issue be, we be the body of the Messiah, in his absence, the bride that's supposed to be found without spot and without blemish upon his return, if the issue in that day, in the early body, was the relevancy of the name is so important, then I think that we should strive a lot harder to understand linguistically what it would be versus allowing people to sit on the middle of the fence and even offer this Jesus garbage as a credible, viable option. I think that does a greater disservice to the issue of salvation, deliverance, and having one's sins forgiven. That's where I stand with that as a teacher of the language, as a teacher of Israelites. Toda Rabah.
Number one, I'm willing to yield my time to Elder Chazaq, but before I do, let me just say this here. To the brother that I was just speaking, listen, if you was addressing old Benjamin, I understand as far as the language is concerned, but the whole debate is not about speaking the Hebrew. It's not about that. That's not. We sidetracking all the way around the planet, and we are not fundamentally dealing with transliteration, the writing of Yeshua's name into the Greek, not the speaking of the Hebrew, not the calling, but again, prove, because he have not done it. He went to Wikipedia, that wasn't sufficient enough. Then he immediately jumped into Cretians when Christians wasn't supplying the information he needed. He went in to break down about the Cretians, but again, the information he broke down about the Cretians did not clearly say anything that this is where Christ come from. And even then, still, that's just another topic. We still have not been shown where Jesus come from Zeus. We have not been shown. And all of these other different breakdowns, man. But we have not been again shown how Jesus come from Zeus. This ain't got nothing to do with us liking the Greek, not wanting to or ignore this pseudo-Hebrew culture. Only thing I want to know is, where do you get this information? Alright? I yield it up to Priest Chazaq about it if you want to take it. Let my brother make a quick point, and then let's yield it up. Because, man, we ain't about to address all this other stuff. This is a waste of time.
Only yielded to him if he could prove it. If he can't prove it,
you can't prove it, man. Just pass the mic back.
You know, once again, our point, as the brother, the last brother who was speaking, I forget what his name was, but I don't necessarily have any gripe with anything he said, because still it comes to a preference. No scripture tells us to call upon the Most High in any particular language. And I want to know what Adam called him. I want to know what Noah called him. And you can't say they spoke Hebrew. Okay, Brother Neriyahu. Secondly, they then, instead of proving that the word Jesus, or Iesus, as it was written in the King James, I-E-S-U-S, but that's actually J. But it looks like the letter I. That's why they created J in the 17th century with the hook. All the J is a capital I without a cross on the bottom. They took away the cross and put a hook on the bottom, so it could be distinguished from I, because people had a hard time knowing if it was I or J. But I do want to say this, as far as the Zeus point, the brother said it's Tarsus, city of pigs. Of course it's not. Also, suspenders don't mean you wearing pig straps. Also, I'm sorry, that's kind of funny to the kid, but Zeus, when by itself in Latin, the elder teacher was right. In Latin, it means pig. But I will say this, that in English, when Zeus is used as a prefix or as a suffix, it carries no meaning. And then the I-E, we heard that argument before, I-E-S-U-S is little pig. You saying I-E, English, and Zeus, Latin. I-E, when used as a suffix, carries the definition of little, like cutie or auntie or puppy. But when I-E is used as a prefix in a word, it carries no definition at all. I-E carries no definition at all. And you know, you got a few people on here who agree. But the thing is that whatever you feel about Hellenization, none of y'all write in Hebrew. Most of you don't write in Hebrew characters, and you don't even know the whole Hebrew tongue. A lot of y'all speaking what was brought up by Hillel way back to make Hebrew a common language for European converts in the 15th century. So we have no proof that the Hebrew we speak today is 100% pure, like our fathers who transliterated and translated the original Septuagint did. Okay? So if the teacher will just don't let everybody speak unless they're going to bring some documentation to prove that the English word J-E-S-U-S, or in King James what looks like an I-E-S-U-S, is a translation or transliteration from the Greek word Zeus. If you can do that, please. We yield the mic.
Or as the brother said, Jesus is really close. Now we haven't proved that that's Zeus, because the brother looking for concrete proof that it's Zeus. We know whether or not we can prove concretely that that is attached directly in the word itself to Zeus, but we know a Zeus or Jesus is pretty darn close to Jesus. Because, let me ask a question. Okay, we'll give you another link then. All right, that ain't good enough.
Oh, right, no, he didn't.
Because the brother looking for concrete proof that it's Zeus. We know whether or not we can prove concretely that that is attached directly in the word itself to Zeus, but we know a Zeus or Jesus is pretty darn close to Jesus. Because the brother looking for concrete proof that it's Zeus. We know whether or not we can prove concretely that that is attached directly in the word itself to Zeus, but we know a Zeus or Jesus is pretty darn close to Jesus. Because, let me ask a question.